Cave and Clover Productions.
Hi, I'm Cameron Dutcher, and these are notes from the Cobweb Drive-In Cinema. These last few weeks have been busy for the Strike the Set crew. Big films have hit theaters, we made connections at the Infinity Clash, and Tammy and the T-Rex put our marketing skills to the test. I spent a few days in Niagara Falls, Ontario, watching the beauty of the nature and learning a lot about its power. I was lucky enough to spend Hockey Night in Canada, in Ontario, watching Montreal play Game 5 against Buffalo, directly across the gorge, seeing all of those fans and seeing myself as somewhat of a makeshift Montreal Canadiens fan, just for this short time being. The thought crossed my mind that there must be some sort of hockey-based horror that I've been missing out on. I did a little digging, I've done some research, and it turns out that there isn't much on skates. So in turn, I'd like to tell you to watch Sudden Death from 1995. It is a film with Jean-Claude Van Damme, where he plays Darren McCord, a fire marshal for the Pittsburgh Civic Arena. He finds himself in a race against time to save his daughter, the vice president, and a crowded stadium when terrorists take over the NHL Stanley Cup game in Pittsburgh. It is a Peter Hines film, and it is awesome. Darren must subdue the terrorists and send the game into overtime. Check out Sudden Death from 1995, and also stick around. Right now we have an interview with Erica from the Midnight Monster movies in beautiful Bay City, Michigan at the historic Masonic Temple in Bay City. Stay for the interview and come check out the Midnight Monster movies every month. So we are Strike the Set. My name is Cameron Dutcher. His name is Jared Sir Swish the Jerk Frisch sitting across from me. Joining me for this interview, we're joined by Erica from the Midnight Monster movies here at the historic Masonic Temple in Bay City, Michigan. That happens every third Saturday of the month. It happens at 9 p.m. and at midnight. We are lucky enough to live in an area where we have people in the community supporting moviegoing and supporting local theaters and supporting bad movies. We show bad movies once a month and we like it. They're not always bad.
Bad is good.
Bad is good.
Yeah, that's why you do these, because it's nice to show people other sides that they're not used to seeing.
Right.
Which I grew up with that.
Exactly.
My favorite. Yeah.
Take in a bad movie. It's good for you.
It's not just for, I'm not the only one. There's other people out there. So, and you're one of them, correct?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Do you know the first one you've ever watched before that you were like, I absolutely, now that I'm starting this 10 years ago, I need to start now and show that first because this is what I grew up on and this is what I want.
Oh,
okay. Like the first one you thought of.
Yeah, what pushed you into this? Why here? Why?
So I actually didn't start the Midnight Monster movie series. I came in as a volunteer for something else, and I saw like a little flyer, and I was like, "You guys play bad movies here?" I'm like a bad movie connoisseur. Like I'm a bad movie goer, and so we came to like a few months worth, and then I started volunteering, and I was like, can I help out some more? Yeah. And then the person who was running it was like, I'm done, and I was like, I'm ready, and so
looking forward to taking over.
Oh yeah, and I have a Google Doc that's just full of like bad movies that I'm like
keeping track of,
and if there's ever a month where nobody picks a movie, I'm like, all right, then we are doing Horror at Party Beach on me, and etc.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I found out so many years ago. Adam was his name that was running. He was working here and then working through the Midnight Monster, and he was like, "You should come out. It'll be fun." And I was living in Birch Run, a town very far away at the time. So I was driving from Birch Run out here to see a bad movie at midnight, and I was like, "You got to do it for old Adam."
Yeah. Love Adam. Rest in peace. Adam lives in Vermont. He is not dead, but might as well.
That's great. So do you remember the first one that you started?
I saw here?
Yeah, that you started? Like when you started realizing that I'm coming here every time now.
I think the first one that we saw here was Night of the Animals. And so that was kind of a bad one. It's a little older. I don't remember anything about it. I think we fell asleep halfway through.
It's all right.
But Night of the Animals, and I remember Manos was a pretty early bad one that we saw here. They did Santa Claus Conquers the Martians as like a
So horrible
Christmas,
and good.
a Christmas in July kind of thing.
That's good, though.
Yeah,
I
no,
like those.
so many. I feel like Night of the Animals, I think that was one where Leslie Nielsen was like playing a serious role, and so
Yeah.
he showed up on screen and everybody in the audience just went,
Yeah, like, what's he doing in there?
okay, where's the joke?
Yeah.
What makes you continue to do them? I've been to showings where there are 40 people in the room. I've been to showings where there are 4
5
people in the room.
Yes.
So what keeps this going?
Honestly, even with the occasional 4 people in the room showings, every year the base gets bigger and bigger, just like a little bit. And actually in the past couple years, it's grown quite a bit. But those people who come back every month, even when the room is empty and they're like, I'm so glad. Those are some of the most grateful people. They're like, thank you for playing this shit. I can't watch this anywhere else.
That's the best,
So,
though.
yeah.
Because then people will have somewhere to go instead of just watching it at home, which is even better.
Exactly.
That's why I miss, like, drive-in theaters. They used to have one
I
in Saginaw,
know.
where I'm from, and now it's a big business there now. But I used to watch all these movies there with my family.
Yeah.
And it was nice.
A few months ago, I had never seen Mac and Me.
Oh, so good.
And they were showing it here, and I watched it on, I don't know, enter streaming service here. And then I watched it again on the Gauntlet, which was the
Even
Mystery
better.
Science Theater.
So good.
And then I came here, and I missed the 9 o'clock showing, so I stayed up for that midnight showing, and I snuck in, and I watched Mac and Me for a third time in a week.
So good.
So,
Wheelchair kid getting shot. the
if you
best.
so if you
Oh,
yeah
so
so
good.
so if you haven't seen Mac and Me and you want to see a wheelchair kid fall down, that
and
is
get shot.
Yeah, they edited it pretty cleverly in the American release. They were like, we can't show all the blood and the police
Right.
shooting this
Yeah.
kid. So you just see like the police shooting near the
Nothing,
kid,
but nothing.
and then the kid is just in an explosion.
And he's
It's
just-
like,
A-Team
and he's just
style.
laying back. Yeah.
A-Team style.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and we've, because, we play our movies digitally because that's what we've got.
Yeah.
But people have been like, you're not playing 35 millimeter? Well, I can just watch this at home.
You're
And
like,
it's like,
"This
it's
isn't
not the same
This
thing.
isn't Portland, buddy. We're not in the...
Yeah, right? It's like, this is a pretty small town,
Right,
dude.
yeah, no kidding.
And it's not the same as watching it at home.
No, not at
That
all.
Mac and Me room was so loud.
Oh.
It was so funny. People were screaming,
Having a great
and
time.
people start riffing at the screen sometimes. And once somebody starts, everybody's like, oh, we can do that?
Yeah.
I'm like, Mystery Science Theater.
Yeah.
I
love
I
Mystery.
think that's what I like most about these monster movies, 9 or Midnight. Either way, you get like, for lack of a better term, and I'm one of them, all the weirdos in the same spot.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
this is where weirdos come together. Like to,
That's why-
let's get it
That's
on.
why
You
it's
know
a
what I
good-
mean?
That's why it's a good time, because you have people that are alike, like you are. Like, you're like, oh, I like these. Because when I go to the video store in middle school, high school, and I'm renting all these VHSs of all these terrible
Oh,
movies,
yeah.
it was my favorite thing to do. But then there's other people like, why are you renting Killer Nerd? I'm like, because it's hilarious and it's fun.
Yeah.
And then we would rent like 3-4 movies and watch them in the
Why
weekend.
didn't you write that down?
I'm gonna. Yeah, but so what do you think, like, how do you promote to get people to come, more people, or do you just kind of leave it like vague and leave it up to them just to like show up whenever you feel like, and then post it on something maybe?
Yeah,
About
we
as far as you go.
we do all the social media stuff, and then we have a promotional tie with a local radio station, and they made up this whole ad read for us that they play on commercial breaks, and it's got like the sexy woman like monster movies, and they were like, is this okay? I'm like, that's perfect.
That's even better, yeah.
And then every movie is sponsored by a different person or business or group or whatever, and so if they want to do something crazy like put on a dinosaur costume and run around downtown, they can do that too. It's a lot of like finding film freaks and wherever they hide and being like, hey, come out of your basement. You can watch Suburban Sasquatch on the big screen with other people.
Yeah, that's so good. I love doing that.
Yeah, I think the first one I saw here was maybe Tucker and Dale versus Evil, and I remember just cackling.
That's a funny one.
It's always good stuff here. And what do you always say when you introduce your movies? You say sometimes they're bad, sometimes they're good, but they're always... I can never remember the cadence.
Well, our old slogan was like the good, the bad, and the truly terrible, or something like that. Yeah. And I stopped saying it, and people were like, I kind of miss when you talked about the good, bad, and the truly terrible.
You got to give us the drive-in totals.
Right, I know. It's like... have you ever listened to The Flophouse?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah. It's like a bad movie that I like, a bad movie, a good bad movie. Yeah, there's different ratings for the movies.
Yes, for sure. We want to thank you for joining us. And it's been how long that you've been doing it? 10 years or 12 years?
This is year 12.
Okay, that's what I was. I wanted to catch you on the 10-year anniversary when we first started the podcast. But we were so young at this, and I think it's been 2 years now that we've been doing this, or a year and a half.
Yeah.
So we've been meaning to get you on for a very long time. So thank you for being here, and thank you for doing this, and allowing us to be a part of this too, because it means a lot to us.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for being here.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.